Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, I thought it would be fun to give you guys my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes because I was going through my drawers earlier and I was like, I have so many eyeshadow palettes that I never talk about because I'm not like a huge eyeshadow person. I'm more of like a face makeup kind of lover. So I was like, why don't I make a video just talking about my most loved eyeshadow palettes? So that's exactly what today's video is going to be all about. I'm going to be showing you guys the palettes, telling you why I love them, all that fun stuff. So before we get into today's video, please make sure to give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. If you love these kinds of makeup videos, tanning videos, just anything girly, then definitely make sure to subscribe. But if you want to see me give you guys my top 10 favorite eyeshadow palettes, then stay tuned for the rest of the video. Okay, so top 10 eyeshadow palettes. I actually have to correct myself. It's 9 eyeshadow palettes, and then it's 2 individual eyeshadows, but they're like the same thing, just different colors, that I had to add in here because I use them literally all the time. So it's 9 actual palettes and then 1/2 of like the individual shadows. Starting off with the first eyeshadow palette, and I picked this one because me personally, I'm a very like warm neutral eyeshadow kind of person. I don't do too much crazy color on my eyes. I like to keep it like the browns, the champagnes, that kind of thing. And then if I want to do something dramatic, I'll do a dramatic lip like I have right now, which you guys don't see too often on my channel either. I know I need to get better about it. But this first one I picked because it does have like those nice neutrals, but it also has little pops of color that still look pretty natural, but still have a little extra something. So this is the KKW Beauty Crystallized eyeshadow palette. I just love these colors so much. I made a dedicated video to this collection that came out, and I tried these eyeshadows on and they are just beautiful. Like all of these colors are colors that I grabbed for. They're just stunning. All of them work on me. All of them will work on a lot of different skin tones. So I had to add this in here, especially this, when I want something like dark and smoky, but I still want a pop of like a shimmer. This is such a beautiful color. It literally goes from blue to purple to green. It's amazing. So I had to add this in here. It's a really good palette. So the next palette that I have here is the TATI Beauty Volume 1. I think it's just the, Textured Neutrals eyeshadow palette. I have it pulled up on the website so I could give you guys pricing. Before I forget, this is $48. You get a lot in here. Look at this. I have used this palette quite a bit, but I definitely have like my shades that I gravitate towards in here, like this brown, and then this like neutrally shade. And then every once in a while, if I'm feeling crazy, I will grab this. I have dug into this black a little bit just to use as like an eyeshadow liner kind of thing. But all of these are so amazing. I feel like you get so much variety here for such a neutral palette. Like you literally, for all of these shades, you get a matte, you get a sequin, you get a metallic, and you get a glitter. So this is literally like the best of every world as far as textures go. And then the next one on the list is from One Size Beauty by Patrick Starr. It's the Visionary eyeshadow palette. So this one I was not expecting to love as much as I do, and I'm kind of matching with it right now. I am loving this. This one goes for $42, so pretty similar pricing to the TATI Beauty one. This half of the palette is very neutral. Well, I guess you could say this 2/3 of the palette, if that makes any sense. And then right here is where the colors start to come out, like the blues and the greens. So I love that. Again, I have not really used this blue, but I have used the green and it's stunning. All of these shades are so pigmented, so easy to blend out, and just like a dream to wear. They last all night. I just love using this palette. So next on my list, I unfortunately couldn't find online, so I think this might have been limited edition and I didn't even know it, but I have to mention it anyways because I am really loving it. And if you're someone that already has this, it's a really good one. It is the NARS Loaded Eyeshadow Palette. So here is what it looks like on the inside. Such a good, just like true neutral, warm eyeshadow palette. It has such nice shades in here, all the kinds of colors that I grab for, except for probably this like yellowy gold one up here, because you guys know I'm not really a huge gold, like true gold eyeshadow kind of person, but the rest of these I have used and they're all really amazing, really pigmented. I really like NARS eyeshadows, and this palette does not fall short. Next up, we have another palette that is filled with a bunch of neutrals. This is the Makeup by Mario Master Mattes eyeshadow palette. This is probably one of my most used eyeshadow palettes that I've ever had. It's very similar actually to the Narcissist eyeshadow palette. Let me show you guys what the colors look like in comparison to each other, because I guess if you can't find this one, then you could get this one and it will work just as well. Honestly, if not better. I feel like I like overall everything about this better than I do the NARS one, just because a lot of thought I feel like was put into this palette. Just the pigmentation, the blendability, the colors, everything about this is done so freaking well. Next, we have another NARS eyeshadow palette. So this one is the Summer Solstice palette. I don't know whether or not this is limited edition. I'm pretty sure it is. Yeah, this is limited edition. So if you're planning on getting this, get it soon before it goes away, which is apparently what happened to that other palette. But this, oh my God, you guys, look at this. Literally all the shades in here are so amazing. I keep saying the same things. I feel like I'm very repetitive in this video, but I don't know what else to say because all of them are in this category because they're the best of the best palettes that I use. These are like the 10 palettes where if I had to throw everything away and only keep 10, these would be the 10 that I would keep because they're just so good, so easy to use, so foolproof, just everything, like the pigmentation, everything just makes all of these worth the price for me. There's 2 mattes and then the rest of these are like shimmers. So I personally could go just using both of these 2 mattes and then adding a shimmer and then I'm good to go, which is why I love this so much, especially for travel. This would be perfect. And then if you want like a pop of pink, these 2 are both so gorgeous and really just bring out your eye color so much. So all of these shades in here are amazing. So this one goes for $49. It's, I think, the most expensive one that I've mentioned so far, with the least amount of shades, so it is a little bit pricey, but again, for what this does for you, I definitely think it's worth the 49 bucks. So up next, we're getting close to the end, bear with me guys. Up next is the Natasha Denona Gold Palette. I know I was saying that I'm not like a big true gold kind of person, but there's a lot of shades in here that just amaze me so much. Natasha Denona eyeshadows are some of the best that I've ever laid my fingers on. They're just out of this world. Like the quality is undescribable. It's just so creamy and soft and pigmented and so easy to blend out. Literally so foolproof. They are extremely expensive though. This palette was $129. Like, I think this speaks for itself. I have used all of the shades in this palette, I would say, except for this gold in the middle, because I'm not a huge fan of like this color gold. And then I haven't really used like these 2 blue shades, because again, I like to stick inside of my comfort zone with like the warm browns and nudes, which I know I need to get better about, like branching out with color. But I just love a good neutral look, you know? So all of these are just insane, especially this right here. This is probably the one that I've used the most. It's insane, you guys. I don't even know what to say about this palette. Like, this is probably the best quality eyeshadow that I have. It's Natasha Denona. Like, you have to try it for yourself. We're down to the last 2 palettes, and then I'll just give a little standing ovation to the 2 singles that I want to talk about. So next up This is the Pat McGrath Mothership. Which one is this? Mothership 5. And this one, look at this, you guys. I literally, when I was looking, this is gonna sound so weird, but when I bought this palette, I literally bought it solely because of this pink shade right here. I was looking for the single version of it, like just a little pan of it for months, like hoping that they would come out with just a single of this, because this pink, let me just swatch this for you guys. The glitter is insane. Like, it may not look like much on my hand right here, but when you see this on the eye, it just does something else. So finally, I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna get it. Like, I'm sure I'm gonna love every other color in here because everything else is beautiful too. And then I ended up getting it, and I freaking love this palette so much. These three, this light pink and then these two, are out of this world. The formula on them is insane. I don't even know how to describe what they are. They're like this like monochrome something, but it just looks stunning. These mattes, so pigmented, so soft, so smooth. The shimmers, amazing. Again, the one that I grabbed for the most obviously is that pink, but all of these are so good. And then last up, it just happened to be at the bottom. I guess I picked it up and put it down first because this is the first palette that comes to mind when I think of eyeshadow. But this is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension eyeshadow palette. This is the one that I have been using the most out of all 9 of these eyeshadow palettes. I use this literally every single time I put eyeshadow on. I'm wearing it right now. I did shadow and liner with this, and it's just so amazing. I don't even know how else to tell you guys how good this is. This is such a good mix between mattes and shimmers, and then it has 2 cream shades too that are wonderful. All of these fit so well together, work so nicely together. It's the perfect warm neutral palette. No crazy pops of color. It's just a true neutral palette, and it's good for everything. Literally, I would bring this everywhere with me if I could. If you're someone that loves neutrals, this is going to be your best friend. I've been recommending this to everyone I know like crazy because it's so good. This one is also kind of expensive. It goes for $68, but I'm telling you, out of all of these, if there was one that I would recommend you go get, it's this. It's just so good. And then the last but not least thing I want to talk about are these Makeup Forever Starlit Powder eyeshadows. I use these like crazy, and every time I do, I get so many compliments on my eyeshadow, and I have people asking me what I'm wearing on my eyes, and almost every time it's this. It's the perfect, this is shade 13. It's like a champagne-y color, and this is 15. It's like a rose gold pinkish color. Both of these are insane. It's like that classic neutral, but so just movie star kind of eyeshadow look that this gives, and it's so crazy. And then every time I want like a little bit more of color, like a pinky color, I'll do this, and it's the same effect. I do have to say that if you're gonna choose one, I would go for 13. That's like my #1 go-to, but both of them are amazing. If you're looking for a really nice champagne-y, sparkly eyeshadow that's gonna last you literally the rest of your life, it's this. I've used this so many times, and it's not even close to running out. So very amazing. And I think these are like 20 bucks. Again, I'll link all of these down below so you guys can actually see the exact prices and everything, but I think these are around 20. A little bit expensive, but again, they last you such a long time, so they're so worth it. But that is it for today's video. Wow, I feel like I've been talking for a century, so I'm sorry. And I'm sorry if it was a little bit repetitive, but I chose these 10 because these are what was my favorite. I tried to pick 10 palettes for me that I could not live without, that I need. If I were to throw everything else away, these were the 10 that I would keep in my collection. That's it. I hope you guys enjoyed this one. Please make sure to comment, let me know what you guys think about the palettes that I picked. and let me know which one was your favorite out of the ones that I picked, because I'm curious. I told you guys my favorite, you tell me yours, say hello. Give this video a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. But stay tuned and I will see you guys in the next video.